Well, hello there, everyone. Stephen St. John here with another episode of Hot Mic with SSJ. If my math is right, this is episode 6. In our last episode, Steve St. John Sr., he was able to prepare a delicious batch of jailhouse nachos. And so if you haven't had a chance to watch that, please do so. All you got to do is like and subscribe on YouTube to Hot Mic with SSJ. And you can always download the podcast wherever you download your favorite podcast. I like Spotify. I just love it. But here we are, and as I've told you, there will be returning guests on Hot Mic with SSJ. My dad's one of them. And the three amigos here in front of me will also be making regular stops here on Hot Mic. And we got so much... I don't want to say good response. We got a lot of response.
Feedback.
Okay, we got a lot of feedback. We got a lot of questions after Jake Gutierrez in his first appearance, where he expressed some very unique opinions about the world we live in. And of course, we had Nate Bucati and Todd Lebo here to question him, to serve as skeptics, and to hold his feet to the fire. And we won't be able to get to all the topics in the second episode either. This is going to end up being like maybe a 15 or 20 part series of what's going on with Jake and in his beautiful mind, like Russell Crowe. And so right now, let's say hello to our friend Jake. Jake, you have a standalone mustache. Would you like to explain that before we move forward?
I mean, it's a power stash. I
Right.
felt last time I didn't have enough power. I was interrupted a little too much, and so
Correct.
Oh, boy.
It's Movember,
Right.
so we want to bring awareness for prostate cancer. Obviously, go get your prostate checked.
Right. While you're watching the podcast, if possible.
Is that? I mean,
Why not? Take your phone to the doctor's office.
There's
Why
no
not?
breaks. No break.
Can
You
we
just
bring
do this.
somebody in here
Yeah,
for me?
sure.
Can I get mine checked?
Next episode.
Check it yourself.
If anyone out there would like to check Jake's prostate
do your
on
own research.
camera,
Check it yourself.
we'll do it right here at the Union Broadcasting headquarters. Nate Bucati's here. Nate, thank you for returning.
My prostate sits up high. It was what my doctor told me last time, which is
Right.
a word I didn't want to hear,
Well,
or for a sentence I didn't want to hear.
I don't believe you.
Todd Lebo.
I've got a peace offering here. Nate told me he didn't want my coffee breath and Jake's bone broth. Look at him sipping the bone broth. So I found an old piece of gum. I have no idea what it is. It doesn't
matter.
And I've got some old chapstick. You want to do both?
Chew
to
both
make it
of them.
better?
I don't know. Will the chapstick help?
It smells different than the bone broth.
Okay, so you can answer a question so that you can get this off my plate.
Okay.
People ask me this all the time. Give me everything that's in that cup right there, not just bone broth. What's in there? How do you prepare it?
I prepare it in an Instapot. So what I use is half of a chicken, about 1.5 pounds chicken feet, carrots, celery, onion,
How many
parsley.
feet does it take to make a half a pound of chicken feet?
Oh, I bet there's probably 20 to 25 feet in there. And so then I also put.
Do you measure them with a ruler to make sure they're
No, they weigh them.
right? So okay,
they had 12
chicken feet. What else?
So I said.
Where you get your chicken feet?
Should I say a Pan Asian Market right
Sure,
across
right
the street?
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, shout them out.
Great chicken.
Would
feet.
you like to be a sponsor? Pan Asian Market.
Pan Asian Market? Yeah.
Right.
Chicken Feet Emporium.
And then
Okay.
I spice it up with turmeric, a little.
Have you ever tried
Garlic salt.
turmeric?
That's stupid.
What else is in there?
Just a bunch of spices.
And then how long does it take to prepare a nice batch?
I cook it for about 2 hours, let it sit for about 6, cooling off. It stays in the Instapot the whole time. It takes about 45 minutes to get everything in the Instapot, and it takes about an hour and 15 minutes to process after.
This has been a big part of your journey to health. Why do you drink this bone broth so faithfully every day?
Well, I started doing it because I have bad knees. I run a lot. I run every day. And I was listening to a podcast, and a woman named Dr. Kellyanne Petrucci was talking. She wrote the book called The Bone Broth Diet.
Okay.
And she was talking about glucosamine and chondroitin, which is a supplement that I'm familiar with because of my knee problems. But the thing with supplements, of any supplement that you take, is that my body is going to absorb a different amount than Nate's body. We have different bodies, thank God.
Right.
So you can't get a pure, like, I don't know how much really, how I'm taking these pills. I don't know how much glucosamine chondroitin I'm actually getting in my body. But when I drink
Who
this,
does?
right? No, when you
Right.
drink this, it's pure. It's 100% pure.
But the benefits for you?
I mean, I don't. So how I was running. So I started this in 2016. I was running about 3 days a week, and I was taking a day off in between my runs, and I was hammering painkillers, like over-the-counter painkillers,
like eating them like candy.
Aleve and ibuprofen. Yeah, and my father died of kidney cancer, and I know how hard those things are on your kidneys, having your kidney constantly process, synthetic anything, really.
Is that why you don't like it when you see me swallow half a bottle of ibuprofen before the show?
The empty stomach's the bad part. You
Right.
shouldn't
Well,
ever take
that's
it.
what I make sure.
ibuprofen
Just
on.
like
Tummy's
get the full
never
effect.
empty.
Right. Yeah. Not truly,
But
because people care.
But yeah, so I started doing it just for the benefits of my knee, and what I've come to find out that there is a lot of benefits, especially if you have any autoimmune deficiencies, if you have a leaky gut.
Right. That's the truth. I have one. I have one of those. So
tightens
that would
up-
help me.
Absolutely, it would.
Okay. Now we're here to dispel myths, right? True or false? Once the bone broth is done, you stir it with your penis.
False.
No one's ever brought that up. I just want to put that out there so maybe someone will believe it.
I got a spoon.
I mean, I heard it on the podcast.
Right,
now,
yeah.
I got
so-
a spoon
You
for
believe-
that. I don't need my
You
dick.
believe Jake?
By the
They
way,
say he stirs the bone broth with his
did you-
penis. I don't know how. man.
Did you peep that plastic spoon he's using?
Right. Wait a minute. Plastic's poison, you said last
It is,
episode.
but,
Why are
yeah.
you stirring that in your bone broth? That's
Never again.
right.
Thank
See,
you
there
for
you
bringing
go.
that
Never again.
Thank
He's
you.
gonna start
Thank
stirring
you.
it with his penis. So
Yeah. Stir it with your penis.
Can I
and
do that
everything. Okay, so
Now, can I have it's a deep question.
Oh no.
we're not gonna do this.
What are you running from, Jake? Why are you running every day?
Didn't you say that you're like having stabbing knee pains lately?
Yeah.
While you run.
I'll tell you what I'm running from, Todd. I'm running from a 374-pound man. That's who I'm running from.
Seems like you should be able to run from him pretty easily.
You have to run very far.
Doesn't seem like that's tough of a task.
That
is
dude
it?
got really real for a second, and then you hammered him with that joke.
Doesn't seem like the toughest thing in the world to
Dude,
be honest with
that
you.
dude moves like Michael Myers.
Oh,
he just
wow.
keeps going.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like,
the-
man.
Yeah, how is he still right behind
I
me?
don't
He was
know,
barely
man.
walking down the street.
That 374-pound Jake, man, he's elusive. I keep running, and I just keep turning around, and
Man.
there he is.
Wow, what a metaphor that is.
He was running. Okay, so
I
so
know,
we
what,
move
I know
on
what
now?
he's running from.
Well,
That's
now we
my
know.
favorite thing when people
Right.
run every day. But couldn't you run not every day?
I guess we're going to be honest here. I run 6 days a week now.
That's good. You don't need to do it
do you have a
every day. Your knees
designated
are
day
bad.
off or just when you want it?
No, so I run every 3 days, and I take a day off, and then every 3
Okay,
days.
so
it's a period. So in a 7-day period, I run 6 days of those.
But wouldn't that still be the same day off every day? And
No,
you do three and then one.
No,
and
it
three?
rotates. Like this week, my day off will be Thursday. I didn't run Sunday. Next week it'll be it's
The math works on it, I think.
no, it does. It changes
Okay.
every week.
That's right, because it's only
moves.
3 and 1. Yeah.
3-1.
So
So yeah, I did that.
It's like a firefighter.
Since I've been back from the mountain, that's
The mountain.
right.
there's a lot of topics that we need to tackle here. We won't get to all of them, but the first one was given to me based on a quick conversation we had yesterday on the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHP. As we know, or as you know if you listen to the show, there are very few people in the world that love the holiday Thanksgiving more than Nate Bucati. And who you were talking to? You said, "Join me in my love for Thanksgiving." It was- okay, Sam Mellinger.
Yeah,
He loves the pumpkin.
By the way,
spice.
Sam, sorry for involving you in the podcast, but now here you are.
Yeah.
And so you guys were talking about how much you love Thanksgiving, right?
Yes.
That's your favorite holiday.
Hands down, my favorite holiday. Not
Nobody
even
loves
close.
it. Yeah, nobody that I know loves it more. And so Jake said something very
You mean Mr.
mean-spirited,
Party pooper. Jake?
right, about
I
Thanksgiving.
got to be really careful here, though.
You do have to be very careful, but I feel like you said it to irritate Nate.
And I did.
but then you got into a little bit of a shouting match. What did you say about Thanksgiving to try to take the joy out of that holiday for Nate Bucati?
I must first state, I love Thanksgiving. I do.
Yeah, give your disclaimer.
Yeah,
Don't believe you.
right, no,
everything
yeah.
you want to
So
say
the
here.
disclaimer is, first off, anything you hear me say that's outside of my personal experience is something I've stolen or taken from someone else somewhere else, right? Outside of my own personal experience,
There's no original thought here.
none, zero. Honestly, I mean that's reality.
Kind of like how the white man stole the land from the Native Americans.
Very much so.
And here we go.
The Puritans, right?
where we're going
So in
here.
1621, the Puritans came across, and I guess what I have a problem
What
with.
did you say to him that made him mad?
I said, yeah, let's celebrate mass genocide.
Okay.
I mean,
Lebo,
that's what
anytime
happened.
you want to
That's what happened to the
step in
natives.
here.
Well, I'm going to tell you, many of these things that Jake talks about, and many of the things in the world today have come from something that maybe wasn't beautiful or whatever at the beginning. But what Thanksgiving is today for Nate and for me and for Sam Mellinger, I'm speaking for him, I guess, is it's a time to spend with their family and watch football and eat. It's not a time to remember the time that we stole someone's land. Okay?
Well,
You're very uncomfortable.
if we are going to say that celebrating Thanksgiving is celebrating the mass genocide of the Native Americans, then we might as well say that Easter is celebrating the genocide of the Jews in Nazi Germany, or that celebrating the 4th of July is celebrating slavery. I mean, you can make those connections because one institution ended up doing some horrible things way on down the road.
But this isn't way on down the road. Like, so we
See,
were
to
taught.
me,
The
Easter
Pilgrims
celebrates.
didn't commit
Yes,
genocide.
they did. In
Oh,
1637, that's the first celebration of Thanksgiving, right? This article is from the New York Times, which was in Time magazine by Sean Sherman. Okay, so we are taught.
The guy brought receipts today.
Right.
We were taught, and I was taught this too, and I think we should change this, right?
By the way, there's so much research there.
I mean,
Stacks of papers.
Hey, look,
Right,
that's
I
what
know
I'm
that.
saying. Do your homework.
I brought
Right,
chapstick
right.
and a piece of gum.
But what I'm saying is that we celebrate. Oh, the Indians taught the Puritans how
I
to
have
grow
poison.
corn, and so the first actual celebration of Thanksgiving was in 1637 after a slaughtering of Native Americans.
That's not what I read in the History Channel thing that I
Okay.
read today. They
What did you
actually
read?
Did it in 1621. They got together
Right.
and had a big festival.
That was wrong because look, the original massacre was in 1637, not 1627.
History Channel's just part of
I've
big,
heard 3
big
dates
pharma.
now.
I don't know. I don't.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter. The point
Right.
is that okay, they tell us the first celebration is because the Indians were helping the Puritans. And look, I
Would you
love
like us to
Thanksgiving.
stop celebrating Thanksgiving?
No, absolutely not.
So was your point just to
Mostly.
irritate Nate, or are you trying to make a statement here? Would you like someone to take something away from this?
A couple things, I guess. I guess the first thing is that we should if this is going on. Look, I don't have children. You guys all do. I don't know what they're taught in kindergarten and preschool. Like I was taught. I actually had headdress of feathers on. I don't know how appropriate that was.
You could have been a Chiefs super fan if you would have acted properly.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
But my
Missed opportunity
My point
there.
being is that there's a lot of things that I was taught that were not accurate, that were incorrect. That
I think they were probably accurate in a way, but incomplete. I think that's
Things
generally
were
what you're
omitted.
getting. Yes.
Uncomfortable truths were omitted, and I'm on board with that. The way the Native Americans were treated by white America is unconscionable.
And our government and
And
whatever.
it's an embarrassment
Right.
to the history of the country, and we shouldn't forget it. I agree with all that.
No, and I guess.
but I
that's-
don't feel like I'm celebrating that when I celebrate Thanksgiving.
No, and I don't think I do either. And if I was, I think there'd be a big problem with me. But I also stated that that's my favorite holiday. I love it, and yes, it's what you just stated, Todd. That it's about family. It's about actually being thankful for what we have today. For me,
Thankful for what we've taken from someone else.
Well, yeah, what Todd doesn't tell you, they go around the Lebo family table and each talk about a time they stole land from someone.
That's
Well,
what
he is
we
a
do.
Sooner. I mean, that's what
Right.
Sooners. That's what Sooners are. That's how they got their name. They
I'm a
stole a
Missourian.
bunch of land in
So,
Oklahoma.
Missourian.
Again, we've all
just went to school in
learned different
Oklahoma.
things about holidays. So now, are you going to challenge my notion that Easter is when we celebrate a giant rabbit that shits eggs? Be careful here, buddy.
Chocolate eggs.
He doesn't have any
Yeah,
papers
I
for
don't.
that.
I'm not
You're
prepared.
throwing a
Right?
curveball at him.
Yeah. Boom. Roasted.
I guess I can't tell you what to celebrate.
Right.
But I might have to look into that.
You guys
Episode
do
3.
know.
Get back to
I
me.
might have to look
okay?
into a big rabbit
It's a-
shitting eggs.
Well, you know what that's all about, right?
The Vatican.
It's the
Vatican
combination.
gold, buddy.
People have
20,000
appropriated
tons.
cultures for as long as people have been people, and it is taking the Christian tradition of Easter and combining it with the pagan fertility festival of spring. Rabbits and eggs.
What about these damn
It's
eggs?
about fertility. Eggs.
What chocolate
fertility.
eggs? They had chocolate eggs back then? Oh, those just
Cadbury?
taste good. That's just big sugar getting out
Right.
of us.
Well, that's true, but I mean, but the point, like rabbits and eggs
Poison.
represent fertility.
Yeah.
You know, it's the spring.
Can't
festival.
catch me because
What's
the rabbit
more?
done died.
What's more addictive, drugs or sugar?
Sugar. I mean, that's proven fact that it's more addictive than cocaine.
What does that mean? It's more addictive. Like they want it more.
Yes, like they'll go back for more. Like the neurocenters in it triggers the neurocenters to make you addicted quicker than cocaine would. I mean, that.
But like if you
I don't
take,
know.
if you take somebody off of sugar, they don't like go through withdrawals and have to be hospitalized and things like that, do they? Or do
some
they?
people do.
Okay.
I mean, some people have such a bad addiction to sugar that if you take them off, they'll go into the shakes, all kinds.
Some
of
guys
stuff.
just go run every day from the 370-pound sugar man. who's
Hey,
chasing them down.
Look, there was a lot of sugar in booze, and I learned that. Like when I quit drinking, I never liked sweets. I never liked dessert. I never liked any of that stuff. Like I was a savory guy. I'd rather, if you presented me with a pie or a loaf of bread, I'd go for the loaf of bread every time. But once I quit drinking alcohol, especially booze that I drank, I couldn't get enough sugar.
Was it because you supplemented the booze with weed instead?
No, it's not.
I keep thinking about you like choosing between a pie or a loaf of bread.
Dude, give me that bread.
I don't know
I'll
about
have a
savory.
loaf of bread.
I would every
Now,
time.
be honest. Okay, did you say this about honesty?
Yeah.
Have you ever done a key bump of sugar at an AC/DC concert?
Like what kind of sugar?
Does it matter?
Give me that Twix.
Thank you.
No, I haven't.
Okay, now pass out the handout that you tried to give us before.
And this started with Nate's travels coming up, I guess.
Okay, where are you traveling to?
I'm planning a trip down to Orlando to take my family to Disney. We've
That's a
never done
mistake.
the Orlando Disney trip.
Yeah,
And so we're taking out a small loan to be able to
The
pay
St.
for
John's
it.
have never gone. I went to Disneyland as a child, but I've never taken my kids to Disney World or Disneyland. I feel like I feel like I'm a bad parent because I haven't. But
No,
then
you're a
also I
good
feel
parent.
like I'm pressured by people that you're supposed to do this, and so I've been kind of up in the air about it. But I'll see what Nate, how his experience there. But now after this handout, maybe I don't want to go.
No, maybe you don't.
And so could you please show us
Hold that up to the
again?
cameras.
How
Yeah.
much of this is motivated in trying to make Nate unhappy?
Well, hey, look, I have a problem with the Disney Corporation.
Okay, so explain what I'm going to show this to the camera.
Right, show the camera.
What have you
Can
given
zoom in
us?
I can bring it a little
Yeah,
closer.
bring it up there. What have you given us here?
So that's the Walt Disney,
To the little bit to the
Signature.
right there. There we go.
Okay.
right? And
It's
if
a
you-
Walt Disney
if you look-
logo signature. What?
Right, the top one's the logo, right? And if you look on the bottom one where the reds are, there's a 6, and there's a 6, which is we all know is what? 666.
The mark of the
beast.
beast.
I learned that from.
There you go. Look,
From, what's their name?
Damian
Iron
Thorne
Maiden.
had that behind his ear. If you just
Right,
look in his hair,
666.
yeah.
right?
666.
Book of
Look,
Revelation.
there is a unwritten rule that goes with
Is that really a 666?
I mean, that really is a strain. it's absurd. It's absurd.
Okay, that's fine.
Do you think it's absurd?
Here, yes.
don't-
Here's the thing. I can find a 4 here. Oh, there's a 4.
Oh,
Can you
it's
find
just
4
a-
of them?
Oh, there's a 5. And then there's a 6. You know what that means, don't you? They're trying to teach these kids secretly how to count.
Oh,
I mean, it's a nefarious plot
Actually,
by
they're actually doing the
by
opposite.
Walt Disney.
Have you ever tried to help your kids do math?
Don't back down from this.
I'm not.
I
Look,
found a 4 and a 5 and a 6 here. Tell me what that means.
I don't see it.
You believe
I
that
don't see
in
it.
this Walt Disney
You don't see
logo
it.
is a
No, I
But
don't.
you see,
666?
this is not a 6. This is a circle.
It's a 6.
That is not a 6.
All right. Look, there has
Todd,
to be a
what
level.
do you say?
on.
There's a level of disclosure that must go on, right, for these people to do what they do.
Who's
Right,
these?
so-
what do you
so
mean?
they-
these
The
people?
cabal,
So
the
they want it.
Freemasons.
They want it to be secretive,
Okay.
but not so
Okay,
secretive
stop.
that some dope sleuths on the internet can find it.
Well, okay,
I mean,
we're
come
getting
on.
Absolutely correct.
Okay, we're
This
getting
is
too far ahead of
absurd.
ourselves here. So, what are you suggesting? So let's go with you.
All right.
Let's give you that there's a 666 hidden here in the Walt Disney signature.
I just
Sure.
like the fact that some of these images came from Pinterest.
Right, well,
so there's
that's
a,
fine.
There's a satanic Disney Pinterest.
I
up there.
believe that.
People-
kinda.
absolutely.
Have you ever been on Pinterest?
It's a
And
horrible
so,
place.
So what are you?
Pinterest is a horrible.
We
place.
made a nice
look,
deal.
okay, let's allow him at 666. Who put it there? Why? What is this? What does it mean?
It goes back to the cabal. It goes back to the Freemasons,
That's
right?
what we want to hear.
Okay. And so Walt Disney, the Disney Corporation, is one of the 6 major media companies that control.
6.
Right? That
No, you're talking
control-
about like actually Walt Disney, the man, before he was
he's-
frozen solid, or is it?
No,
now,
he was
or is
not a good guy either.
Okay,
he was
that-
not a good
that's
guy.
fine.
Look, I mean, look at what Disney has done to children programming. Look at Britney Spears and how they you.
Are you going to slut shame Britney Spears?
No, she
my
was.
God.
I mean, there will be stuff that comes out about what was done to her and Christina Aguilera and like there. Go ahead, Nate.
So let's stay on point here. So Walt Disney Corporation is part of the 6 media member cabal that's trying to. They're Satan worshipers, basically.
Yes, so to speak. Yes.
And who's in it? Who's the 6?
The media companies. I mean, Time Warner's one. You're putting me on. The
No,
spot.
that's fine. Okay,
Well,
so
that's what this is about.
So
Right.
did Walt
I can-
Disney
I can
know
go- I
when
can
he
Google it.
started the
Google it.
foundation that
Don't
he was
Google
going
it.
to start?
Duck, go that motherfucker.
I'm
Right.
on DuckDuckGo. See, DuckDuckGo.
Did Walt Disney knowingly start his corporation to one day become part of the satanic cabal?
So to speak, he wanted the power. He wanted to.
He's
they wanted to.
bring power.
They wanted to control. Right. So it's all. Look, it's all a plot to control humanity. Right. That's what
by
this
who?
all is.
Who's
the
behind the
cabal?
plot?
The 1% of the 1% that we're talking about.
Do they have board meetings? Do they get together in meetings and go, "Hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put a
get this
666 in our
fucking mouse
logo,
and we're gonna
see
do
if they ever
this."
find it."
I don't think that's discussion. I think that's they're sick people. So I think that there's a level of
sick.
there's a level of spitting in our faces going on that it's a lot of it is right up in front of
But
us.
but who? It's not everyone that works for
The
Walt
CEO
Disney.
of
It's
the
like
company
the highest,
no. Look,
the highest level,
Look,
like
it'd be
where does it-
impossible. It would be impossible for everybody. Like
How
people
far
would
down
not
the chain does it go?
Not very far. It's the top. It's
Okay.
the one.
The CEO of Walt Disney's in on this.
No, he's
it's
not.
above the CEO.
Yes, way above. Way above.
Well, how far is it? But like,
It's not, I mentioned it's the
Who's
cabal. It's the
above?
1% of the 1%.
but how do they control Walt Disney?
They control the media company? They could. I mean, they have the power. They have the money. They have the
And in like
resources.
1920, they got his signature and said, "You got to six this up."
Look at how it's changed over the years. It hasn't always just been.
Is that in the Pinterest?
It is in the Pinterest.
How about this little devil one here? This little devil kid. That
Little-
doesn't look
see
like an
this.
official logo.
No, but is it Mickey? Little Mickey?
It's a devil.
Yeah, little devil Mickey.
Well, you really have to stretch to try to get
So
sixes
wh-
out of this
no,
Walt Disney
so-
thing.
So-
All right, then I'm stretching.
Okay, so what does that mean that there's a 666 in the Walt Disney logo?
I don't know. He brought up Disney, and it's an evil corporation.
So
Right.
I saw a deal. There's an online video with
But wouldn't
someone.
they try to hide it? If they're
No, why?
they want people to know.
They have to let people know.
Why do they have to let people?
It's
Because
like
that's part of the
Is this like when
disclosure.
people?
Code of the cabal.
Is this
No,
like
it
when?
is.
I don't know. I'm
It's like,
asking you. I
it's
don't
like
know, man.
galactic code.
No, is this like when you drive down the road and you see someone in a Jeep? They each wave at each other, and you see people motorcycle wave down
The
low.
two lows,
So
the two
this
fingers?
is just for the people in the know to know that the
Yeah.
devil's out there.
Wait
in
a
there.
second,
Yes.
what?
Motorcycles
motorcycle
too.
wave.
That's
Yeah.
secret
like
wave?
this,
They just
two
wave
down.
low.
It's
They just
two-
wave-
it-
wave
What's
it's
that
a-
mean?
It's a
It just
peace
means,
sign.
hey, I'm in a fucking motorcycle and you're on a motorcycle.
I'm in the club and you're
We're
in the club.
buddies.
A
Just
secret
like,
handshake.
just like you don't know shit about this. You
Right.
need to educate yourself.
See, watch this. Let's do that. The Mexican wink they don't know about. See, yeah.
Yeah,
You
see,
guys feel
don't
stupid now, don't you?
understand it. Real stupid.
I didn't even see it.
What do the
Right,
Polish guys
exactly
got?
right.
I don't know. I guess better find out.
Right.
You're not even.
Yeah.
He's not
They just
even-
walk
not
around in
even
a circle
a
trying to
pole.
figure out something
Yeah.
to do, and they never do.
So I've seen another video, and I've seen this retweeted, and it's very similar. This would be, I guess, a lady who you would get along well with. She does the same shit with a Monster energy drink. There's a 666 on there.
Probably. I don't know who Monster's owned by.
Well, it's owned by Coca-Cola. That's Big Sugar.
on.
Yeah,
That's
no,
Big
no,
Sugar.
no. I mean, yeah, those are all these corporations
Big
are.
Sugar.
Look, they want to like, as you look at our society as a whole, especially the United States of America, the change, even like from our parents' lifetime to what we're dealing with now, and I would say it probably starts from our grandparents to where we are now.
It probably goes even before that because
No.
shit changes all the fucking time.
But no, not-
all the time.
not to
And
the
it's changing-
extreme.
Well, it's
My
changing
religion
faster
teacher
now.
at Bishop Ward, Mr. Schneewise, said the only permanent thing in your life is change. So get used to
I heard
it.
Carl
Well,
Peterson
no,
say
but
that. I'm giving it Carl.
Change
Right.
for good and change for bad are two different things.
Yeah,
Look,
but
we-
change is
But
change.
in 1950, you look around our country, half of the country wasn't obese, right? That was not the case.
That's certainly a problem.
That's true.
It's
yes.
a problem
That's
because
certainly a problem.
But what's that have to do with Walt Disney?
And
Because
this is why they whacked JFK. I told you that,
Jesus.
but I'm not
That
going
has
to
to
get
do
into
with the
that.
Federal Reserve, which
you
really
gotta
isn't
get to
federal.
me. It ain't going to be. When I get everything cleared, trust me, and I will, by this time next year, I'll spill the beans. Go ahead.
Look, it's part of controlling a population, right? We're obese. We're lazy. We don't. We'll believe what's ever put on TV
I
in
feel
front of us.
seen right now, by the way.
We'll
or
take-
whatever you read on DuckDuckGo, apparently.
or whatever pill
I
you
don't
want
know.
to take.
Or
No,
whatever Google search puts
Yeah,
a
you think
666
maybe this
on the
is,
Walt
that's
Disney
fine.
logo.
Laugh
symptom
at
of
it.
that,
Make fun.
perhaps?
I'm
Like,
not making fun. I'm just saying
I'm
you're,
telling
you
you-
are
Hey,
the
I'm
same
making
thing that
fun
we're
of that.
talking
Great,
about.
great. They want to control the human population. Understand that, right? Because they don't want people thinking for themselves, because if people think for themselves, they won't be fucking buying Coca-Cola and drinking a 12-pack of Coke a day and being obese.
So isn't it? I mean, look. The funny thing is there's certain roads I'm willing to partially go down with you.
Which ones?
Well, I do believe that corporate America is obsessed, is solely focused on consumerism. They just want to sell as much damn Coca-Cola as they can. I don't think it's some satanic plot. I think unless money is Satan, they worship the dollar. Yes, they want to sell as much Coca-Cola to us as they can. If they find out that sugar is addictive, they'll put as much sugar in that damn Coca-Cola as they can to get you to drink it, and they'll market the hell out of it to make you feel like, hey, look at all them drinking Coca-Colas, and they're all having a great time, and there's beautiful people all around them. I got to have one of those. Yes, I think that all that stuff has happened.
So let me ask you this.
Yes.
Do you find it evil that they're doing that at the expense of a human being's well-being?
Yes.
That's evil.
Yes.
I just think I think
Yes.
that can be true, and it cannot be a cabal.
That's fine.
Yeah, I think
you get to believe that.
I
That's
think
fine.
corporate America takes advantage of the tremendous amount of stupidity of people that we've seen on full display over the past, 5 years or so.
Right.
It's been out there for everyone to see. There are a lot of dumb people.
But that's why my point is, it hasn't been this has been a slow burn. This just didn't all of a sudden. There's just a bunch of idiots now. Like, this has been bred in different generations, and it's been recently.
Now we just see them all because of social media.
True, but
They were hidden in plain sight. Now we see who they are.
But what I'm saying,
check out Facebook, and then you can figure out. Oh, there's a dummy, and there's another dummy.
but that's
And they
also
can't wait
part
to
of
tell
it.
you how dumb they are.
But that's also a part of it. That's been able to expedite the stupidity.
But
I mean,
is
the
it
messages
because
are
of
more
a satanic cabal, or just companies want money and shareholders and people with their fucking 401ks
That's for
want
you to
money?
decide. That's for you to decide.
Okay, well, I'm sticking on the not a cabal side.
Okay, that's fine. I think there's something bigger going on. I think there's been something bigger going on since I told you since to your point, money, right? John D. Rockefeller.
Well, there was money before that. I mean, if you're going to say
Right.
that, it's back to the beginning of the first time someone decided gold was worth something, or a fucking rock was worth something, or a horse was worth something, or a gun was worth something.
But greed is different than actually trying to harm people for the benefit.
See, but I don't
That's
think
not a
I don't
new
think
thing.
they're- I don't think these corporations' goal is how can we hurt people. I think it's just how can we make money off them regardless of what happens
can
to
we
them.
take advantage of people?
It's disregard for good or bad, whatever. We don't give a shit if it's good or bad for them. We just want to know how much money we can make off.
So
of
what's
them.
the end game?
You know,
then?
and that
For-
to me, that's the way
The end
system's
game is
set
for
up.
a one world government to control all humanity, so we just do what the fuck they say. Oh, buy this? Okay. Believe this? Okay. We're going to take all your freedoms, all your rights away, and you're all going to be like-minded. And if you step out of line, then we'll fucking punish you.
Which
We'll-
freedom are you most scared they're going to take away?
I don't know. I think
Because freedom isn't free.
this absolutely is not free.
Freedom's a social construct.
Okay. I disagree.
Team America World Police.
But no, and it goes back. I guess
Casa
what
Bucko
freedom
5.
right now am I at biggest fear of somebody taking away? Somebody telling me that they know what's best for me and my health and my mental health and my physical health and my spiritual health. Someone dictating the entities that I've already, like, for somebody to tell me that they know, like, hey, Jake, you need to do this. We're mandating this for you. Fuck you, right? I think I've been in a place in my life where I've seen fucking death. I know what death looks like. So for somebody to tell me that they know what's best for me is complete bullshit.
But don't you think some doctors might know what's best for people better than they would know?
Not doctors. I've seen doctors, and I've seen my mom. I've been in hospitals and doctors that no. Some doctors, yes. Some doctors, fuck no.
Well, there's good doctors and there's bad doctors, just like there's good lawyers and bad lawyers, and there's good broadcasters and bad broadcasters. But like when we're talking about what's best for you, the government's not out there telling everybody to eat more sugar. The government's not out there telling everybody to consume as much mass-produced high fructose corn syrup as possible. In fact, it seems like it's been the government that's been more like, hey, don't eat so much sugar. Eat things that are higher, in fiber and protein and things like that.
Like the food pyramid, like what is everybody?
Is that part of the cabal?
No, it's part of a plot to make money off the well-being of people, right?
But what's at the top of the food pyramid?
The original food pyramid that we were all presented. Everybody had a fucking George Brett milk mustache in their fucking lunchroom, right?
Because of the dairy cabal.
Dude, dairy is a fucking it's not the dairy cabal.
It's an industry.
But yes, and it's an evil fucking industry. It's about rape, murder, and kidnapping. You want to go down this road? I'll go down this road because it's horrible.
Go.
You want to go down there?
Who are they raping?
They're raping cows. They're sticking their hands up cows' asses. They're fucking inseminating. They're making them pregnant.
I don't think that's how you inseminate a cow up the ass.
Okay, well, how do they inseminate a cow, right?
So
you weren't ready for this. You weren't ready.
I'm sitting back down.
You want to ask
Who
me
is
why?
doing this?
Here's a big reason why I don't eat beef
no.
anymore, right?
Okay.
Because that's exactly what's going on. They fucking rape cows, they inseminate them, they impregnate them, and then they steal their babies away from them, and then they steal.
Kind of like we do with puppies.
How do you feel about?
I'm not talking about fucking puppies. There's not a puppy. There's a dairy industry. There's not a puppy industry. That's fucking.
Well, there is
Well,
a
there's
puppy
a puppy
industry.
industry.
Of course,
that's making that makes the same amount of money.
Is it time to stop saying bullpen?
Do you want to have a serious conversation or not?
Yeah, I do.
No, it's not.
Because it's the same fucking thing.
No, it's not the same thing, Todd.
Why
it's
not?
It's not because you're not hurting animals.
I've
saying bullpen, by calling a fucking part of the field a bullpen, you're not hurting animals.
But his point is PETA is saying that
fuck
we
PETA.
should stop. So no,
fuck
so
PETA.
PETA's no good either.
I don't
Okay.
know enough about PETA. I think they're attention whores and they want to fucking they want to be in the spotlight.
I've helped castrate bulls before.
That's great, and I'm not. Look, if
I didn't
you're a
feel good about it. It was tough,
If
man.
you're
I
a
didn't like
dairy
it.
farmer,
But in the end, I'm cool with people wanting to eat whatever they want to eat. Okay,
right?
But
have you seen what they do to make veal?
I'm sure
That's
it's
baby
not pretty,
cows,
but
right?
Yeah, and they put them in fucking pens, and they can't stand up, and they put milk bottles at the top of the pen, so they fatten up little baby cows, and they fucking drink this milk, and then they fucking slaughter them.
yeah, but in the animal kingdom, which we are part of the animal kingdom, is that
part of the animal kingdom? Taking little baby cows,
Well, I mean,
putting them in little boxes.
And part of the animal kingdom is I'm gonna go steal your fucking shit and eat your baby. I mean that shit happens.
But
in the
that's
animal
in the
kingdom all
nature.
time.
That's not done by millions of cows. They're not.
If the other animals were smart enough to figure out how to fucking do that, they would do that.
I'm telling you, you asked me a question. I think I'm sorry, I don't eat beef anymore because I think it's horrendous what the fucking dairy industry does.
So is it wrong for me to say that veal parmesan is delicious?
No, I've enjoyed veal parmesan, right? I just don't. This is my choice.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell anybody what to do. Anybody watching this, if you enjoy beef, eat the fuck out of it. I'm not telling you not to, but I also
Steven's
know.
like, yes, sir.
I also
right.
know that if you were aware,
Challenge accepted.
if you were aware of some of the practices that go on within
Kinda
that
like-
Nobody
industry.
wants to know how the sausage is made.
Kind of like if we're aware of why we celebrate Thanksgiving, we wouldn't celebrate it as
Oh, no, look. So like what you
hey,
just
look.
said. I don't know if you're kidding or not.
No, it's true.
I don't think any of us want to know how anything's made. Really, anything that we eat or drink or consume.
Right, and I'm at the point in my life where I have to know how it's made, where it's made, why it's made, and I want to know, like, if it has more than 3 ingredients, I try not to eat it.
Can you get to that point though, where you know everything about everything that you put in your body?
I'm not there yet. Now,
I mean, isn't that almost impossible unless you're living, off
eventually,
the,
I mean, it's not
berries
impossible.
and-
You can go to farmers markets and you can.
No, I don't think those chicken without feet are doing very fucking well.
No, you're
drinking
right,
milk.
but I don't eat those chicken feet. I make
Chopping
my
chicken
bone.
feet
Hey,
off.
look, it's.
I
No,
know,
no, no,
but the point is-
no, that's a good counterpoint.
The
What about
chicken-
these chickens' feet?
Right. No, and I
Because
get
there's no
the
chickens
point.
walking around without any fucking feet. Those
I'm
guys,
not-
it's over for them.
Right. And I use them to make bone broth, and I
like
do that.
chickens.
Look, it's I don't consume animals anymore. I drink bone broth.
Have another sip of animal juice.
Great point.
Is it fair to the chickens? what
No,
you do?
it's not fair, and I don't eat them. But that's
Yeah, you're fucking eating
Chickens
it.
have small brains, though.
I don't eat fowl. All right, and that's my choice. I don't consume it. I don't put it in my body.
But what are you doing with that fucking bone broth?
I drink the broth made
You're
from
consuming it.
right, and one day I probably won't. One day when it gets to a point where that bothers me enough.
But
That's the thing about all this stuff. We all make justifications
and
in
that's
your
why I
life.
said-
for whatever.
that's what my point is.
I'm not telling anybody what to do.
But is it a fair question to ask? Why are you concerned about how the cows are treated when you don't seem to be concerned about the chicken with no feet?
I am concerned with the chicken.
Maybe started as a joke. That's a real question.
But
I mean,
look, there was no poster in my grade school cafeteria with a guy with a bone broth mustache, right?
Yeah, but there was poultry was on the poultry was
What
on
I'm
the
saying is that they
food pyramid.
infiltrated the school systems and they paid money to put their posters up. They bought their way into everybody. My mom gave me a glass of milk every night because she was told this is good for your bones. This is healthy.
and it's not.
I mean, not for me. It's not.
Well, because that's what I'm trying to find out. So what's wrong with milk?
What's wrong with milk? Are you a baby cow? We're the only mammal on
I've been
planet.
called a lot worse. I can tell you that.
We're the only mammal on planet Earth that consumes another mammal's milk.
And we're the only mammal on planet Earth that builds fucking skyscrapers. I mean, we just do shit different than everyone
It'd be
else.
something if we weren't. I can tell you that.
And so for you, keep drinking milk, man.
Okay,
Do it.
I don't drink milk.
but
It's
specifically,
too much fat for me.
is
We're
like,
probably the only animal on the planet that sautés vegetables too.
but
though.
is milk bad?
Right.
Like the idea.
Stop
I know you're
doing
talking about the idea of it, but
Gross
is the
crops.
milk actually bad for you?
I think dairy's horrible for you.
Well, I'm
Is
asking
it
why.
more about the
Lactose
rape
or
or
what?
the health of it?
Is it what?
More about the rape or the health?
Both equal.
So then-
Equal parts rape and equal parts.
But I'm,
it's
but
not
I'm trying to
good
get
for you.
somebody. So like what is bad for you?
It causes inflammation.
Okay,
It
that's what I'm-
Yeah. I mean, dairy causes inflammation. It causes. Have you ever like the saliva, your saliva glands, the mucus forms?
Because my point is, someone could think, you know what, milk. I don't think milk's good for me, and not be
Dairy
going down the
causes
road
inflammation.
of the,
Inflammation
okay,
is
all
the
right.
cause of every fucking illness that's in your body. You must first be inflamed first.
So then, what about?
It inflames everything. Milk, dairy does, or just certain parts of your body.
Certain parts of your body.
The good parts.
I mean, I'm not
You got some extra milk over there?
I'm not a doctor. I wish
I'll give you a milk mustache.
I
Right.
wish I knew. I wish
Right.
we were going down this road. I
Right
would've
now,
had- I
Susan
would've-
St. John is buying a case of milk
I drink oat
to
milk.
bring home for
It's
me
not a little
tonight.
flavor anything
Those
over
poor
there.
oats that get pressed. I drink oat milk, so I
You
drink almond milk.
motherfucker.
I
killing
guarantee,
oats.
I
I
drink oat
guarantee
milk
that
and
no
almond
other
milk.
animal on the planet drinks milk from oats.
Probably not.
So what about what's wrong? Again, you're talking about the idea of what's behind how the meat is made, but
Yeah,
but what about actually eating the red meat or eating the veal? What does that do to you that you don't that you say
No,
is unhealthy?
I see people that go out and hunt elk, and they go kill elk, and they honor the elk. Like I don't find any like that's their choice. Go do that. Like I find there's a lot more like how the natives lived on the land. I find there's a lot more honor in that.
All goes back to Thanksgiving.
It
Fucked that
does.
shit up, didn't we? Nice job.
There's a lot more honor in a person who hunts for their family, kills an elk, and then supplies their family with protein out of nature. Not a processing plant that is killing animals. And they feed them what they shouldn't be eating out in
now,
they pump them full of fucking all kinds of hormones and
to be fair, how do you make a hormone? Don't pay her. Sorry. I had to say. Wow, sorry. To be fair, I live off 29 and Berry Road. I'm a city guy,
Yeah, man.
right? So if I'd like to provide my family with some turkey, the odds are I'm not going to go and kill said turkey, I'm gonna run down to the grocery store.
Yes,
and so
I get that.
So if
I totally get that.
what about turkey? We haven't talked about turkey because we eat a lot of turkey.
There's farms in this area that humanely kill turkey. You can go buy a humanely killed turkey.
How do you humanely kill a turkey?
You chop its head right off.
Probably, but
I'm serious. I think that's what you do.
Yeah.
I think it's more about humanely, meaning the quality of life they have while they're living on.
Okay, what about when you see like cage-free chicken,
yeah,
or something like that? When
yeah,
you
I like
see
range,
something at the health store, is that
right?
range?
No,
Yeah.
I mean that's
Free
I think
range.
Free
that's
range
what I'm
chicken.
talking about. The humanity of
grass-fed beef instead of feedlot beef.
Does that make a difference?
Yeah, I believe it does.
Okay.
I believe it
It's
does.
all just justifications we have. That's what life is. Justifications.
But there's
we
some-
negotiate with ourselves about every fucking decision
Sure,
we make.
like I think there's like if you're treating the animal properly, and then there are farms that honor these animals. They realize that it puts food on their table. They realize that it puts money in their pockets so they can provide for their families. I think there is a level of humanity that goes into that.
I'm with you on that.
I can understand.
I don't like
that.
the idea of these big chicken farms where they just like sit in a coop all day and crap all over each other and they
can't
pump it
even
full of
move.
antibiotics.
Right.
I would rather not eat that chicken. I'd rather eat the free range chicken. I'm with you on
But
that.
we all make a justification
Sure.
because you got a family.
But I also have a life to live, and sometimes I got to go through
It's
the
gotta be
drive-through
quick.
and get some
And
Chick-fil-A,
God,
man. I don't know.
I hope I don't come off like I'm standing on a soapbox telling people what to do, because that's not.
You're
That's
telling
not-
people what you do and why
Right,
you
what
do
you-
it.
yeah.
You feel
Right,
strongly.
man.
about it.
I don't have the right. I have not earned that right to tell any other human being on planet Earth what to do unless I see someone physically, mentally, or emotionally abusing somebody else, and I could stop that in some form or fashion.
Or raping a cow.
But look, I don't want to talk down to the people that do that, right? Because they have their reasons for doing that. I don't agree with them. I don't have to agree with them. The power that I have is to not consume it, to not be part of that system.
You're not saying you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do this.
No,
You're saying,
and-
I don't do this,
Right.
I don't do that, and
if
this
you're-
is why.
If you're a dairy farmer who provides for their family, and this is how you have to do your things, do it. I have a problem with some of the processes that go along with it. Me personally. Now, did I 10 years ago?
Don't you figure? Well,
No,
did you?
no.
8 months ago, probably not. Don't you figure that if, in just about everything, if we knew how this metal was
That's
formed, or this
what I
plastic
said earlier.
or
we
whatever,
don't want to know nothing about
I mean,
nothing.
I don't know what on Earth we can even do that we wouldn't have some apprehension about.
I saw an interview with Jon Stewart one time on Howard Stern talking about, he said, in life, we all have to choose what injustices we're willing to live with, because there's injustice all around us. And he said, one thing that he finds ironic is that everybody goes on social media now on their iPhone made in a sweatshop in China, and then they tweet about injustices that they see around
Right,
them.
yeah.
And it's kind of like, and everybody kind of picks, because it's impossible to live a life completely devoid of injustice around you, right? Like, it's all around us.
Right.
And that's a
who
fascinating.
made those jeans? Who made
Yeah.
that jacket? Who made the hat?
Is the
I mean,
company that I bought anything that's in front of me from an ethical company, and what defines an ethical company? And those are hard questions to ask. And,
Absolutely.
you know,
And I
not
think
simple.
I think it all goes back to your point, Nate. Yes, and what Jon Stewart is saying, but it's like once I have this knowledge, right, of the processes of what happens in the dairy industry, what am I going to do with it? And
I'll admit I don't eat veal because of it. It just makes me kind of feel sick to my stomach thinking about it.
Right.
But I'm not saying that nobody else should eat it. It's just kind of like, I
and
don't
look,
feel good about
and
that.
I don't eat it that often.
Because,
No,
but I
get it.
will say I eat the mess out of when I can afford it. Crab, I would eat crab legs as often as possible, and I'm sure that's probably bad. I don't know.
no, it depends. I mean, I watched Deadliest Catch. I mean, that's not inhumane. They're out in the wild. They're catching.
They're just catching them and pulling them up and then killing them. Yeah, it seems great.
Well, they're not raising them to be slaughtered.
Well, the world's raising them.
Do they have farm-raised crab? I know they have
I don't think
farm-raised
so.
salmon. Should I be
Yeah.
not getting the farm-raised
It's
salmon?
dirtier.
Well,
I mean,
it's good for farmers.
It's dirtier. That fish
Got
has
more
more
mercury?
Yeah, it is.
Farm-raised salmon might be better for the environment because you don't have a big boat out there trying to catch
It's,
them.
I don't know.
renewable?
I try to eat anytime I can. I eat fish. I'm a pescatarian. I try to eat
Except for the chicken.
Wild. I don't eat chicken. Tom.
You're eating chicken.
I'm not.
They're
I'm not.
killing chickens,
It
and
seems
you're
like
putting it in your
semantics
body.
a little bit. You're putting dead chickens in that and then consuming it.
I feed the dead chickens to my dogs.
So what? Someone killed a fucking chicken.
I'm
for
not
you to
putting
drink
it into my body. I'm not putting the flesh into my body.
Oh, the
does
flesh,
that-
but the juices aren't part of it.
Does
No,
that, does
I
that
don't think
seem
so.
like justification that you are trying to reason with yourself as to why it's okay to use those chicken feet versus what you've said about
Right
the
now,
cows
right now, the benefit for my physical body is it's
It's
beneficial.
worth killing a
the
chicken
benefit
for.
it makes you think fuck them chickens.
It does.
basically, right?
Fuck them.
Right?
My knee feels pretty good today.
And then that's okay.
So sorry,
I'm
chicken.
not. I'm just
Yeah,
telling
sorry,
you that
chicken.
it's
Right. Sorry,
Part of the
chicken.
circle of life, though, isn't it? I mean,
What
that
if you
is,
found
know,
out?
Look, those chickens are gonna be killed anyways, whether I use their feet for my
Right.
broth
What
or
if?
not.
What if you found
those
out
baby cows are gonna get killed.
getting a
at some point,
nice
too.
like a nice
I don't need 'em.
sirloin or tenderloin and putting it on your knee helped with inflammation?
I'd just go get some ice.
You wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't.
How are they making that ice?
Water?
Yeah, but they got to make it cold. That's bad for something.
Freon in those.
I mean, they air
freezers.
conditioning or
Okay.
whatever. I mean, that's the thing. We can't.
And I'm not asking we. I'm not saying. I'm
I don't
saying
think
I.
you can either. What you're doing, what I'm doing, what we all do is we negotiate with ourselves what's okay.
Sure.
Making ice takes energy, bad for whatever, right?
Okay. What's your point? Like what?
Well, my
like,
point
what-
is, you've picked a few things that work for you.
You have to be selective because
Right. And that's what I've been saying the whole time. Like I'm doing what's best for me.
I'm telling you, I don't want you to look into big ice because then you're gonna fucking be mad and
what-
you won't
okay.
be fucking getting ice.
what else?
then I
is-
won't buy my ice tub.
Before
right?
we move on
Exactly.
to the next topic, what else is off the table for you to consume? We've talked about dairy products. We've talked about delicious meat. What else is off the table because you don't like the process or you
pescatarian.
think it's bad for
You mean
you?
you get
Is
in
there
that-
anything else?
Get in that pussy?
I mean, I don't drink any soda. I love pussy.
What the fuck?
It's
I walk- can I
That's
walk-
not the mic's not that
I
hot.
wanna walk out of here.
Right.
Is it not that hot?
He's the worst one of everybody.
It's like
This fucking guy.
all I-
this- by the way,
I'm
if this
trying to
podcast
think.
ends, it's because of him.
you know what this is.
I'm
you know what
trying
this
to
is?
think, and all I hear in my ear is pussy.
This
You said pescatarian.
this guy, it's like the kids that have gotten to have candy, and then they go out trick or treating. They're going to be excited about it, but then the kid who's been denied candy his entire life
Now
gets
get to come
just,
on here and be an
he's
asshole.
just he's
Right.
going home. He can't control himself.
Right, that's exactly
he
right.
can't control himself. He's throwing
I
out.
apologize. What else won't
No,
you?
you
on,
don't.
man.
No, what?
No,
No,
I am sorry.
I'm asking an
High
honest
processed
question.
food. I don't drink any kind of soda. Hardly. Once in a while, I have carbonated water, but anything with carbonation in it, I don't drink that.
Give him a sip.
See, now the cabal is controlling you. You are now under the control of the cabal. So,
But it just got
I
a
don't- you know,
jolt.
hey, look, the reason I do anything today for me in my life is I'm trying every day I wake up, and I try to present the best version of Jake to you guys, to anybody I come in contact with, right? And so for me today, drinking bone broth is the best version of me that I can provide. Not eating meat from a dairy farm that slaughters cows and rapes their cows and takes their babies away.
What
from
about what about
that? Not eating that is presenting the best version of me.
what about a vegetable and cheese pizza?
That cheese is dairy.
Oh, do you eat? I mean, I ask you, do you eat that?
Look, I try not to eat very much dairy. I do eat dairy about once every 4 to
What
6
dairy
weeks.
do you eat?
I eat
when you break
cheese
down?
when
He
I
eats
break.
the fuck out of pizza every
I
6
do.
weeks. He has
I
this
do.
bunch of it.
I do. Look, look.
And a shake.
I haven't had a shake for a long
Been
time.
a while. You haven't getting him cut.
The last we had an ice cream cake for Dr. Dodd's birthday.
You
over
mean
the
a
weekend.
rape cake?
What the fuck is wrong with you? Honestly,
I'm using his
dude,
words.
what is wrong with
I'm
you?
using his words.
Yes, I had a rape cake this weekend.
Here's the fucking deal. Okay,
Oh my God! Can I get out of here?
after the last episode, Jake, people were coming up to me. What's wrong with Jake? After this episode,
What's
what
wrong
the
with
fuck is
Lebo?
wrong with Todd?
Seriously.
And I'm gonna say I don't know.
Seriously, before the show started, a
Oh,
little behind the
God,
scenes
man.
here. Ben Messner told us to frame up this shot, and he wanted me to move to one side so that you could have a clear shot at Steven here. And so I was like, well, I'm definitely moving closer to Todd because, like, metaphorically,
Yeah, get in there with him, buddy.
I want to distance myself from Jake. And right now, I don't know if I feel good about
on
this
over here,
Let me tell you
decision.
something.
I didn't think I was going to say that today,
It
Jake.
ain't-
I did not think I
It
was
ain't
going to
no
want to be
fucking
closer
mistake.
to
I'm
Jake.
on this side of the table by
Right?
myself. Trust me
Can
on
I
that
sit
one.
over there next time?
No, you cannot. All right.
No, that's
Next topic.
there
I
we
asked
go.
you this question.
We got more topics.
I asked you this
How
question the
fucking
last.
long is this thing?
You
That's
know
what
what?
she
You know
said.
what?
That's what she
Hey, you
said.
know what? Yeah, turn the camera off and let me show you.
Yeah.
Why? It's
Hey,
hot mic.
hot mic,
Well, he'll
bro.
stir that bone broth with it.
because I'm embarrassed of my tiny
Mo,
penis. That's
please.
why.
Mo,
Say
please.
shit now. You
Some
talking
more,
about
please.
me.
Some more.
please.
Susan's like, don't show him. Trust me. Okay.
You gotta zoom in. How
Get that macro out.
tight can that camera
I
get?
just remember my son's watching, listening to this podcast. Daddy loves you. Daddy loves you, kids.
That's where you
All
came
right,
from,
all
boys.
right, so
Oh man.
I
had another
said,
topic. Moving
I
to the
asked
next
you
topic.
if aliens are among us. You weren't happy with your answer. You said you wanted a chance to elaborate, and that's a very.
Is there more documentation on this? Is that what the rest of the papers are?
No,
It's a very interesting question
I
that
had some
people-
more thoughts
Okay.
after, and I actually tweeted something about this.
Are the aliens here on Earth living among us?
I believe yes, they are. Right? Because how do I know that?
Like where we can see them? Are they hiding somewhere?
They're
I mean, there's
working
been
at-
a lot of disclosure lately from our government. I mean, a lot of that classified information is coming to surface with
UFOs?
Because
UFOs.
I believe in UFOs. I believe in aliens. I'm willing to listen to what you have to say about this. So I'm asking you: do you believe they're here
Are
with us?
you willing to admit that they're probably working at dairy farms and fucking cows?
No, they run the dairy.
cows
farms.
are
They're
the
not, they're not working at the dairy farm.
Are the cows the aliens?
So here, this is a quote from Frank Herbert, right? And Frank Herbert wrote Dune. Dune is
Okay.
a very popular movie,
Out
but
in
not
theaters
related to
now.
Justin Herbert.
Documentary,
Yeah.
isn't it?
no, it might be in about 10,000 years.
So this is a documentary done by one of these big 6 media companies. So you're gonna fucking believe
I don't
this?
know. I
movie?
read the book. I read the book when I was, growing in high school. I think I read it. It's
Who
one
was
of the
the
few
publisher?
books.
Were they part of the cabal?
I don't
You
know,
let him
Todd.
finish, Todd.
I'm sorry.
God
I'm
damn
being a
it.
dick.
So
I'm
here's
being
a
an
quote.
asshole.
Here's
I'm
a
being an
quote.
asshole. I'm sorry.
Here's a quote. Deep in the human unconscious is a pervasive need for a logical universe that makes sense. But the real universe is always one step beyond logic. Beyond logic. Deep in the human unconscious is a pervasive need for a logic universe that makes sense. But the real universe is always one step beyond logic.
Okay, I mean, I think that's why the government has kept secrets from the public, because I believe that the government thinks this, and I do too, that maybe a lot of us couldn't handle what's true about UFOs or
Right.
aliens or what has actually happened.
And so what I mean by even reading that is that, look, 2,000 years ago, you break a leg or an arm, you don't have an x-ray to see what the bone looks
You
like.
probably toast.
Right? Because
They die.
but we can see things today that we couldn't see 10,000 years ago because we've developed the technology of an x-ray. We can't see it with our eyes, but we have they have gamma rays and all kinds of different things that allow us to see beyond the spectrum of our eyeballs.
That's how the Incredible Hulk was created, wasn't it? With gamma rays.
rays,
Right.
absolutely. So, I mean,
That's
they're here.
also a true story.
Prove that's not.
Go on.
You prove it is.
Well, my point being is that our human spectrum, it only ranges from our, I believe we have six senses, but the 5 that we talk about are, our touch, our sight, our hearing, our taste, and smell.
Is
right?
the 6th the ability to detect Bruce Willis is dead and actually in this room with us?
Well, yes, that is. There is a 6th sense that is washed out of us. That's the intuition.
Right.
You can feel that cold, right? There are people in our, I believe, and I'm not going to go down this road with you guys today.
Why?
Why not?
Because
We don't have
we,
time.
we,
Okay,
don't-
well,
we
go
do- we
ahead.
really don't have
Next
enough time.
podcast.
Yeah, next time we'll talk
Well,
about
tease
medium.
it.
We'll talk about mediums next podcast.
As soon as
people,
that,
people who-
Media,
thing
media
goes,
is the plural term.
mediums.
Right? No.
A
Trust
medium
me.
is singular. Media.
You're gonna have to
I'm
explain
talking
that to
about
me, 'cause,
people that
yeah.
are mediums.
I haven't been able to be involved in the medium since about 12 years old. So
Mostly
trust me, I'm
XLs,
right?
double
XL now.
Are there only 6 big mediums companies?
I'm talking about people who have the ability
I
to.
know. I'm being an asshole.
extend-
Stop right there. Argue about this though. Is it mediums or what did you say it is?
Media is the plural word for medium.
When you're talking about an entity that you consume like a media, but a person who is a medium,
Is a medium.
right? That's plural.
It's not like octopus and octopi.
No.
I'm sorry, I said puss again.
No.
I didn't mean to.
He just found a way to work
the
that
plural
in there.
for a medium, a person, multiple people that are mediums.
Yeah, like stimulus, stimuli,
right.
medium, media. I get that, but he's saying a medium is a person, so we're going to call
all
them
right.
mediums.
It's a different.
Like there's different types of peoples.
Yeah.
Okay.
Peoples.
Well,
Deers,
people
deer,
is just
fishes.
people is singular and plural. We the
Pescatarian.
people. But no, what I'm saying is there's mediums,
Like
people,
Donovan Peoples-Jones.
people who can extend outside,
peoples.
who can talk to dead people. They exist. I know for a
And you
fact.
believe that?
I know. I know. Yes, I do believe that.
Are you a medium?
Yes, I am a medium.
So that's going to be the next podcast.
We can talk about my mediumship if you like.
Can you talk to
Mediumship.
any? Can you talk to any?
No, I cannot talk to any.
Do you have
dead
to have a
person.
connection with them?
Most that I've communicated with, yes.
You
Is
have
this like Ouija board stuff, or is that stuff devil shit?
I don't. I'm talking about my own personal experiences.
Okay.
I've had contact with people who don't live on this plane.
So people who have come here before, or you're talking about people who just aren't even on this plane. You're talking about people who have passed. You're talking about ghosts.
I'm talking about people who have passed.
Okay, so people who were people once, but now they're somewhere else.
Yes.
Okay.
People.
But
who,
you just can't tap into that. You have to have a connection with the person, or like.
I work on the connection daily. So when they call to contact me, I am open and available.
Okay.
What does that have to do with the aliens?
Right.
Can you talk to aliens?
No. So good question. I'm glad you brought us back. So what I was talking about is the six senses. We have a spectrum, right? Our ear has a spectrum. Our eye has a spectrum. There are things that exist outside that spectrum. We can prove it by having an X-ray, X-ray of our arm.
And animals can hear something we can't hear.
Absolutely. So
Smell stuff we can't smell.
So there are things in our world, on our planet, that are outside of our spectrum. Like there are.
Sure.
And so for me, I believe that there are other life forms, other beings. I don't know what kind of beings.
Are they disguised as humans? The aliens?
Some of them. There are aliens that hijack humans. There are aliens that hijack.
Like a demonic possession almost.
Similar, but so like you could be hijacked by a reptilian being. I know people who remove these things from people.
I knew a guy that got arrested for jacking humans. $20 a pop.
He was removing something, all right.
So
I could. I'm
So-
sorry. That was.
So this
Fastball, I
sounds
gotta
this sounds
swing
like
up.
devil
That's my fault
possession,
now.
like an exorcist, but for aliens.
Well, so what I've come to understand from my belief, right?
can I find this shit out on Pinterest too?
No, you can't. This is deep shit.
Are they just living here, or is there
Yes,
like an?
they're living here. And
But I mean,
I
there's not
believe
like
it-
a
They would be like
big
an,
reveal coming,
like an illegal alien.
right. Well,
No, I believe there's aliens called the Anunnaki, right? The Anunnaki.
Write that
Okay.
down in your book.
Anunnaki.
It starts with an A. Google, duck, go it.
Duck,
Okay.
go it.
Anunnaki.
Anunnaki. So I have a belief that the Anunnaki hijacked all the way back to ancient Egypt.
And where are they from?
I think they're from. Good question. I want.
Why haven't, after 2,000 years since they took over the Egyptians, haven't they just taken over the planet?
It's none of your fucking business.
What do you think the process that's currently going on is?
Yeah.
It's a long process that was going on since the Egyptians.
Right.
I'm saying the long game. It's a marathon, not a
No,
sprint.
but look, they're darkness and there's light that exists. That there's a
Are
battle.
they good guys or bad guys?
So the, well,
They're
yeah,
bad
the
guys.
aliens
the
are bad.
Anunnakis are
But
bad.
these type, there's other aliens that are here
That are good.
Yes.
Okay.
Benevolent aliens. What are
Right.
they called?
There's.
Well, just like there's good humans, bad humans.
I believe that alien life form, the Lyrans, Lyran. They're from
And you're a
planet-
Lyran. You told us that last time.
I am.
Yeah.
Yes.
How can I find out what I am?
Well, you have to find out.
Well, I mean,
gotta
that's
dig-
you
you gotta
got.
dig
Is
into
there
that.
like a?
You got to find out your
Is
true
there like a
nature.
Facebook quiz I can take?
Find
Like,
out.
this
There's
is what I
not.
am.
There's not. You have to dig into your true nature.
There's no BuzzFeed quiz on that?
No, but that's not like. How do you find? Like, if
I
somebody
was-
wants, like, I
I was-
want to
I
know.
was-
Did you
told
find this
this.
shit out in the cabin?
No.
Before or after the cabin?
Before.
Before the cabin.
Yes.
And then how long before?
It just seems to me like if the aliens had the technology to get here and infiltrate us, we'd have been long gone by now. Like they would have taken us
But
out.
maybe 2,000 years to us isn't that so long to them.
That's true. Maybe that's only like a day. But it seems like if they have that technology to get here that fast, they could have wiped us out a lot
Might have
faster.
taken a long
or
time to get
started
here.
raping us and producing us for food like we do with cows.
But it goes back to
Maybe
it goes
that's what
back
they're
to
doing.
it goes
And
back
we don't
to
even know it.
it goes back to Satan, right? It's good versus evil.
So Satan here on this earth are a little big, like everywhere.
Well, I mean, I believe Satan.
So
here
like
on
the
Earth-
Autobots and Decepticons, some of the alien robots were good and some of them were bad, and they're fighting on our planet while we're just kind of helpless bystanders. Something like that?
Something like that.
See, I'm not trying to dumb this down, but is there? So people think UFOs. Do you believe that there are still UFOs, and there are aliens that are still arriving here? Or are you saying they all got here 2,000 years ago and that's it?
Well, I think there's some that are coming here now to help mankind.
Okay,
right
so
now.
like when you see that so and so down in Mississippi saw this UFO at 2 a.m, whatever, or most people assume those reports are bullshit. Do you think there are really these sightings that actually are true and they're just being hidden from us for our protection? Do you think shit's like that's happening now?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I don't believe everything. I think a lot of people.
No, but some of them's crap. But
I don't. Absolutely, I believe some of it. I mean, but that's where you use your own tuition. You can, like, you're a smart enough man that when somebody is sitting there bullshitting, you have a pretty good idea whether they're full of shit or whether they're being honest.
As my dad said, you can't bullshit a bullshitter.
Right. I mean, but you understand, like, it goes back to the control. That intuition that we can develop is washed out of us.
See, like when I saw the movie Signs, I said, "Oh, I could believe that shit."
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's quite as extreme and in our face, and it's not going to be like
Right.
It's not going to be like, here are a bunch of spaceships coming down to take over the fucking Earth. Right?
So, but not all the aliens are bad. So these Anunnaki or
Anunnaki
Satan,
are bad.
They're bad. Satan,
right? They're
but that's
reptilian.
not our Satan. Is there a bigger Satan?
There's
Is there a
an
Satan on
evil-
each planet? Is there a Satan out in space?
I don't know. It's a really good question. I believe that they've been casted. So
Are they all the devil's advocate?
This is a reach, right? This planet used to be a planet called Planet Terra. And
Who called it that?
That's what the extraterrestrials that live in this universe called
I
it.
like how he declared this is a reach here. So thanks
First
for,
reach of
thanks
the
for
show.
qualifying that.
Right.
So it used to be called Terra.
Terra, Planet Terra, and
Right.
it was basically
Terra, like
Terra.
land,
I believe that's
terra firma,
right,
terra,
right.
Latin
and
or
it
whatever.
used to be like a grand central station for travel throughout the universe.
Where'd you read this one?
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I saw that movie.
It's like Union Station back in
Douglas
the day.
Adams.
You think this was like a?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was, and then the Anunnaki came and hijacked this planet, and it's been closed, right? Because they don't want.
you think
This is
you've
some
been
of
a-
the most batshit crazy
Do you-
stuff I've
right.
ever heard.
Have
you
you been a
bel-
Lyran
okay.
your
Sorry.
whole life, or
Do
did you become a
you-
Lyran?
Okay, now listen to me. Now you were very adamant about the things you said earlier, and I think there's no question that you believe that stuff. Right now, we're getting into an area where, like as Nate suggested, this could be considered batshit crazy. And so, do you think this? Are you researching this? Do you really believe this? Where are we at with? Because now this is a real leap.
Right.
It's like this is it's not a leap for like for
get
you
it.
to say, hey, I believe that dairy's bad for you. That's why I don't consume it. Here's why. Okay, I'm listening. I may not agree.
I
I'm
can go
listening.
down that road with
This is now this might be like this is fucked up. I feel like it's like what did we?
Yeah.
There now
Yeah.
I'm asking you to
Yeah.
to help me out here. Take my hand and guide me
Look,
through this.
I believe some of this is true. I don't know how much. I don't know what.
What
yet.
what do you believe is true? What you just said.
I believe that there are evil entities that exist on this planet that are not human beings. I believe that they have hijacked some human beings. I think there's an agenda for them to want to control human beings. Now, whether I don't know if I fully believe that the Anunnaki hijacked this planet, which is Planet Terra. Now it's Earth known to us. I'm willing to believe it.
If that's true, then how can we protect ourselves from?
Why'd they change the name of this? Who changed the name? Was it Terra? We just made up the name Earth.
I don't
Other
know
people
who
on
gave it to Planet Earth. Who
Well,
named
not
it?
everyone calls this Earth. Some
Right,
people
it's
call it
different
El
languages.
Mundo.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's different words in different languages. You know?
I don't. Good question. I don't know. Where did we get the name of all the planets? Like
Well,
that-
we just make shit up. That's what.
Well,
we
that's
do.
for
they're
gods that we
right
in-
after
invented.
gods that no longer exist on this planet that we put them
You're
up in
telling me
space.
that there's no more Roman gods or Greek gods on this planet?
No.
Just a quick aside, you remember
What?
remember in Mork and Mindy when Mork had a son and it was Jonathan Winters and they named him Mirth.
Mirth.
I wouldn't throw that out.
I mean, it's a little bit
like
like
that.
a grown man, right?
I like that storyline when I was a
Like,
kid.
I loved Mork and Mindy.
I like Jonathan Winters. It's hilarious, right?
British Honduras Bailey's used to be British Honduras, so it's like that. Earth and was Terra before, or what?
I guess I don't know who named it. I just
Like Mount McKinley is now
Denali, 'cause it was
Denali.
Denali
Or it was
here's the
before,
deal.
now it is again.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I want to know if we're in danger and how I can protect myself.
But
look, you can protect yourself by getting in touch with your most inner self, right?
What
okay.
if he gets in touch and finds out he's an Anunnaki and not a Lyran?
Okay, so now that's see you smart son of a bitch.
He
You
might
just-
be a Pleiadian.
Could
don't
I
know.
be
A what?
one of these things and not know it right now?
You could possibly be hijacked, but I think
But how long have you been a Lyran?
I don't know that answer.
You just became aware.
But you didn't always know you were, if you are.
And Jake Gutierrez is not a Lyran.
Okay, is this kind of like the sovereign citizen thing?
Is Jake Gutierrez
Is this an American
are,
or a
are you
United
are you
States?
lying?
Jake Gutierrez is the human being that my parents birthed.
Okay.
Okay, so then what are you saying?
I'm saying that within me lies an entity. I call it my soul. I have no fucking idea where my soul was before it entered this body.
Is there a
Okay.
chance there's no souls and you just when you're dead you're just in the box in the ground?
I don't believe that.
It's a chance though, possibly.
If you want to believe that, you can.
I don't like that.
I don't want to be in a box.
I mean, I from my life experiences, from what I've seen, look, I've done a lot of work with dying people. I mean, I volunteer for hospice. I've sat with people when they've taken the last breath. More than most people. More than most people. I was next to both my father when he passed. I was late to the hospital when my mom passed.
We're not getting into that story today.
No, we don't need to get in that story, which, it happened for a reason.
Right. Exactly.
I have some really, really strong thoughts about this at some point. Maybe we don't have time for it on
About
the
what?
podcast today. About death and what happens after. And Jake and I actually have some similar. Some of them are formed by what Jake's told me. So, anyways, and I'm not trying to take your thunder. I just
No,
want
no,
someday I'd like to talk
And let
about
me
that.
say
We
this.
share the thunder.
And
yeah,
then-
I would like.
And
to
then I'll
I
be
would like to talk
the
about
naive dummy. I believe there is a heaven, and I believe there's a hell, and I believe my mom's in heaven right now, looking very disapprovingly down on me because of this
You're
podcast.
wrong. She doesn't. She looks down on you with so much love and affection.
Not always.
No, always. Always.
Maybe in heaven she's made
Always.
blissfully
Not this
unaware
weekend.
of this.
Always.
Not this weekend at Harris.
Especially this weekend. at
I don't
Harris.
know about that.
Yes.
Susan, I'm sorry. Go ahead. We had fun though, didn't we?
No, I look, and that's what everybody, and I said this at the beginning. You have to decide what's your truth, right? And I'm investigating myself daily on what I truly believe, and I've come across some shit that's crazy, right? But just because this sounds crazy to you,
Right.
doesn't mean I'm crazy. It just means I'm not like you, and I'm not like any other.
It also
soul.
doesn't mean you're not crazy.
Right.
Yeah, you could be crazy.
Yeah, I could be.
Yeah.
And
To
I can
you.
tell you, I got in a
You could be crazy
shitload of
to a lot of
trouble
people.
when I
Right.
was.
I could be too.
When I was
Absolutely.
15, 16, 17 years old, I got in a lot of trouble. I used to investigate myself daily in the
Well-
bathroom, and I'd be in there for 45 minutes at a time. And,
Are you lying about that?
Maybe. Any final words, Jake? We're going to end this
my pen.
episode, and I can promise you we accomplished nothing in this
Again.
episode. What
I learned a lot about the dairy industry.
what's the takeaway?
I'll stick with what I'm telling people is find your own truth. I mean, and this is my truth. And look,
And is it true that your truth can be fleeting? And it can change.
it changes
'Cause
all the time.
Daily,
Look,
our truth
it
changes.
and for me, my truth has to change daily.
Absolutely.
Right? I have to wake up. Look, I have a process. I wake up every day, and I wake up real fucking early because I hear people, and I said to you, and I don't want to get too deep into this, and I said to you, there's an epidemic on this planet, and it's people that fucking bitch about everything, and they do nothing.
Amen to that.
And they do nothing about
Amen
it.
to that. And they criticize everybody else for
Yes,
trying to do
there
things
is
in
a
the world.
fucking epidemic on this planet.
Sit around and criticize
And
everybody
I
else.
was,
and
and
what
I
are
was
they
as
doing?
guilty as that as of anybody else.
I think that's called Twitter.
Yeah, absolutely. But
It is.
It is now. It's an epidemic that people bitch about absolutely every fucking thing, and they do absolutely nothing. So when I hear people say, "I'd like to work out more, I just don't have time," I'm not rude, but I say fucking bullshit. That is
seems
bullshit.
rude to say it like that.
I don't
Right.
say it to their face.
Okay.
In my mind, I say fuck.
I was
Like,
gonna say that absolutely is rude. I think that's the definition of rude. So I'm just throwing that out there. I think on that note, that's a nice laugh we can end
I don't
on.
say that to their
I want you to
face.
write
Right.
this down in your notebook for next time because I want to talk
Right.
to you about this sometime.
I want to talk about death.
Are you getting
I'm
enough
serious.
sleep? That's because you do this every morning. You wake up and do this. I know you track your sleep and do that. I want to know if you're getting enough sleep, but I don't want to talk about it now because we got to go because I got shit to do in my
I
office.
just
Fair
can't
question.
wait. I can't
Fair question.
after those two. Can't wait. Next episode, apparently, we're talking about death and sleep. Boy,
The big
download
sleep.
and subscribe wherever.
My
you...
thoughts on death are incredibly positive.
Okay, well.
So are mine.
That sounds great.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of Hot Mic with
don't know what we did
SSJ.
here.
And I'm going to go home and enjoy a delicious steak and wash it down with a big glass of milk. My name's Stephen St. John. You can like and subscribe on YouTube.
I love you.
Download the podcast wherever
you
you
all.
download your favorite podcast. The microphone is off.